Hey guys, aloha, got a deck profile here. This deck profile is on my Fluffals. Love playing with these are really fun. I love fusion summoning. Back when I was playing, when the game came out like long time ago, fusion summoning was a little bit slow. The fusion monsters weren't even worth it. But this deck, I love like doing fusion summons with this. I think I like it way more than heroes. But, yeah. This is a casual / budget build and all that stuff, and thanks to Fusion Enforcers, this deck is just like easy to make. You can hollow it out and all that stuff, and the cards are just they're sort of kind of cheap. And then if you have the staple cards, you may throw it into this deck and make it even way more powerful. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the main deck, extra deck, and then these are just recommendations and all that stuff. And it's sort of kind of my working side deck, but majority of the cards are recommendations to the deck if you want to try them out. Alright, so starting off with the main deck, which is 40 cards. We got 3 dogs. You need to max out on these, because when you normal summon or special summon him from the hand, you can search your deck for Fluffal or Ejims sabers, so that's really cool. Fluffal Penguin is the new addition to the deck. When he's on the field, you may special summon any Fluffal monster except himself, and then when you use him as a material for Frightfur fusion, you can draw 2 cards and discard a card, which is really nice. You can only use this effect once per turn. Not bad. 3 Fluffal Bears, because I want to discard him and see my toy vendor on the field at all times, so I max out on him. And if he's on the field, you can distribute him to get out a polymerization. So he's pretty good either way. And then next is three Fluffal Wings. So he was at 2, but I put him back to 3 again, because like I found myself going into the effect a couple times. I kind of want to see it, but you can bump it down to 2 if you want to. Mainly just you want to use his effect when he's in the graveyard, banish, and if there's a toy vendor on the field, you banish Wings and then another Fluffal monster of your choice, banish them, draw a card, and then that time you use the effect, you can take that toy vendor, destroy it to draw another card, and then you search off a toy vendor, so you're adding 3 additional cards to your hand, which is really cool. Fluffal Octopus is another new addition because of Fusion Enforcers. Has a lot of effects when it's normal or special summon. You can target a Fluffal or Ejim monster from your graveyard, add it to your hand, and then when you use them as a fusion material for Frightfur fusion, you can take up to 2 banished monsters. 2 banished? Or yeah, 2 of your banished monsters and return them to your graveyard, so that's pretty cool. Was it graveyard? Yeah, to your graveyard. So that's awesome, and it's a once per turn effect, so that's cool. Sheep, just to bounce back important cards that you don't want to see get destroyed or fusion summon with. So if you have another Fluffal, special summon him from your hand to your field, and then you can take one of those Fluffal monsters that are on the field, return it to your hand, and then take a Ejims sabers from your graveyard or hand and special summon it. So pretty nice. If you're going to use this effect, you're going into a fusion summon, so make sure of that. And yeah, that's it for that card. Fluffal Owl, just really good. Normal special summoned from the hand. You may search your deck for a polymerization. And if he's on the field, you may pay 500 life points, and he's a polymerization. So that's pretty cool. So that's all for your fusion monsters. So yeah, sorry if I'm speeding through the deck. I have these Fusion Enforcer packs here, and I want to open it with you guys. So that's something I want to do. If I do end up going to the store to buy packs, I want to open it with you guys after a deck profile. Next for the Ejim cards, 2 sabers, 3 chains. This is just a really good ratio on Ejim monsters, because you want to see them as possible, whether in your hand or in your graveyard and all that stuff. So, you know what Saber does? You just take a card from your hand, put it on the top of your deck, and then you can special summon him from your graveyard. And then Ejim chain, when he's sent to the graveyard from your hand or field, you may search your deck for a Frightfur spell or trap card, or just a Frightfur card. Yep. So, whatever you need. So, they're pretty good. This is a good ratio on Ejims monsters for a 40 card deck. in my opinion. Next for the non-Fluffal and Ejims monsters is 1 Glowup Bulb and King of Swamps. If you don't want to run synchros in the deck, then don't run Glowup Bulb, but I just kind of like it. And then King of the Swamps, you know, because you can discard him to search your deck for polymerization, and then you can substitute his other effect is like he can substitute for any fusion material monster listed on the card, so he can substitute for that and you'll be able to do your plays a little bit more. You don't want to run too much of him because he's sort of kind of bricks, but not really, because you have so many ways to search for polymerization. But yeah, there you go. That's all for your monsters. Next is your spell cards. Toy Vendor, your continuous spell card that you can search off with Bear. Once per turn, discard a card. Draw a card. If it's a Fluffal monster, you may special summon a monster from your hand. And if it's not a Fluffal monster, send it to your graveyard. So this really gets things off. And then when this is destroyed, you may search your deck for a Fluffal monster or a Ejims Sabers from your deck. So that's pretty nice. You can pull off a lot. You can do a lot of like combos with that card. You just need to run 3 of them. Next is the fusion cards. Starting off with 3. Oh, you're not a polymerization. 3 polymerizations. I would say run a max of 3. You can run fusion substitute in this deck if you want to, because it counts as a polymerization. But yeah, that's a choice there. 1 Frightfur fusion, because running 2 was a little bit too much for me. I'm more comfortable running this many, 1. So because you banish your monsters and you have Octopus to bring it back, but you know, I don't really see them as much sometimes, so if you really need it. Instant fusion, because I'm running Nordine, and you can get out sheep with Frightfur sheep with this. And then Frightfur Factory, you know, these are all targets for it. You know, if these are in your graveyard, you can banish it, and you can do this becomes a continuous polymerization. And then when this is destroyed, you can take a banished Frightfur fusion and add it to your hand. So yeah, this is actually 2 if you have this on the field and it gets destroyed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next, I got some field spells. I got Fusion Recycling Plant and Magical Meltdown. Now, Fusion Recycling Plant I like because it's in its name, it recycles. You know, so you discard a card and you can search your deck for polymerization. And then at the end phase, any monster that you use as a fusion material, at the end of that turn, you may return 1 of those cards from your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that is really cool. Like I said, it recycles your cards. So if there's something you need for next turn, you can just grab it out and all that stuff, as long as you used it for fusion. And then Magical Meltdown is kind of just like a protection field spell card. I'm only just using it for the protection because when you your fusion monsters cannot be negated when they're fusion summoned and all that stuff, so they can't be targeted and all that stuff, which is nice. So I run those, and to get to them easy is 2 terraformings. I would run 3, but then that's taking up space in this 40 card deck. For removal cards, 1 Dark Hole for the monsters, and then 2 Galaxy Cyclones. Galaxy Cyclones, because you're doing a lot of discarding and a lot of cards are getting sent to the graveyard due to effects. So you can play this from the graveyard, and if you get this in the graveyard and you're going first, you can use it next turn if they have anything face down on the field. And then Dark Hole just to clear the field when you're going second. This can be a Regeki too if you wanted to, so it doesn't really matter. But for a cheaper option, Dark Hole. Regeki is still 20 bucks, guys. What? Alright, so next I got 4 trap cards. Solemn Warning, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulse, and Griselli Prison. I don't know really how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Kind of like a budget dimensional bear, but not really. But if you have like a Ritual Fusion card on the field and you play this, your opponent can't do Xyz or Synchro Summons, so that slows them down. And you guys know what these cards do. I don't need to explain it. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. We got 2 Sabertooths. It's possible to get out 2 Sabertooths, and if you use 3 or more materials, can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And then when he's successfully fusion summoned, you can take a Frightfur card from your graveyard and special summon it, which is really nice. So you build up on your power. And I believe he gives 400 attack to all Frightfur monsters, which is really cool. Frightfur Kraken, the new fusion card for the deck. Lot of effects. Once per turn, you can destroy you can target one monster on your opponent's controls and destroy it. And then this card can't attack directly the turn it activates the effect. It can attack twice per turn. It can't attack directly. Oh, okay, wait. Sorry, guys. You can't attack directly the turn that you activate its effect. It can attack twice, and at the end of the battle phase, this card is switched to defense position if it attacked, I believe. But yeah, that's really good. Really good stuff. So many effects. And then next is 2 Frightfur Sheeps, because you can bring it out with Frightfur Fusion and with your chains and all that stuff, because you have 3 chains, so he's like really easy to get out. Sometimes I can get into 2 Frightfur Sheeps and pass, but I'll show you the combo later if you guys want to ever see my combos for this deck. But yeah, when he's destroyed by battle or card effect by your opponent, you can special summon it back, and it gains 800 attack. So it's a 2800 monster. And it just keeps on coming if it gets destroyed. So we got Frightfur Tiger for your board clearance, which is really, really nice. Used to run it at 3, but he's not the main deal anymore. You just use him to use for the effect to destroy things, and you know, and then you want to get straight into Sabertooth right after. And then Wolf for the OTKs, which is really nice. So these 2 cards, like, depending on how many materials you use, that's how much this can attack, and that's how much it can destroy. So yeah, that's all for the Frightfur monsters. They take up a lot of extra deck space, like, for real. Got Nordine, you know, for you know, because I got Instant Fusion in there. Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome. Easy to make because you're running Nordine and Fluffal Penguin, and they're level 4 water monsters, and then you just go into Totally Awesome with Bahamut Shark's effect. So really good first turn. And then for the rest of the XYZ monsters, we got Castel, Rafflesia, Giant Hand. Yeah. All my other good XYZ monsters are in my other decks, so I don't really want to touch them. Those are my extra ones. And then, because I'm running Glowup Bulb, I got a Naturia Beast and all that stuff. You mill the first, I think the first 2 or the 3, 2 cards on top of your deck, so this deck doesn't really care. So, yeah. So that's the deck, guys, for this. Other cards you guys can add to the deck is, like, you know, like Summoner Monk. You can add in a second King of Swamps, a second Frightfur Fusion, another Instant Fusion. You can run 3 Galaxy Cyclones if you want to. Run a Fusion Substitute. 1 for 1 because you're running things like Octopus and Glowup Bulb. Refusion because, you know, it's kind of like a Sabertooth, but you pay 500 life points, and if this leaves the field, you banish the Fusion monster. 2 MSTs if you don't want to run the Galaxy Cyclones. Foolish Burial Goods or Foolish Burial if you have them, just so you can send things to the graveyard to get things going. Mirror Force for battle protection, and then Soul Charge too, because you're going to be just doing a lot of fusion summoning. A lot of things are going to be going to your graveyard, and you can bring this back and continue on with your plays. And then another 2 of the prisons if you want to run maximum of 3s, because you're going to, if you go first turn, and you can set up at least 1 fusion monster, and you can set this, then you're pretty much set. Alright, so that is the deck profile, guys. Let me know how I did and all that stuff. If you guys have any suggestions for me, let me know. I'll be happy to try it out. Because I made a deck profile on it, I'm going to be doing some changes. So if you guys got changes for me, let me know. Alright, so here we go. We're going to open some packs here. So starting off with the first pack. Ooh, nice. Got a King of Swamps. Got the Paradox Fusion, Fusion Reserve, Refusion, Magical Meltdown. I got a second one. Yes. Woo. I'm good. I like that. I like that a lot. I should try 2 magical meltdowns and take out fusion recycling plant, because I have so many ways on making you know, getting polymerization into my hand. So yeah, some Plant, another Fluffal Penguin, Alistair the Invoker, Summoner Monk, and Invoke Calgia. Oh, nice. I believe you can get them out with instant fusion. I'm not entirely sure. I need to look into that, but that's another good pull for me. Summoner of Illusion. Finally got a super rare version of him. Another Alistair Invoker. Another Fluffal Dog. Another Frightfur Wolf. And an Invoke Coyotes. What do? You're a pretty good card, and you're probably going to get me to make Invoked, which I don't want to do. I don't want to make another deck. I don't want to make another fusion deck, guys. Ooh, I like this card that's coming out of this pack here. An instant fusion. Nice, nice, nice. Got the Lone Fire Blossom, Super Solar Nutrient, Plant Fire Trap, and another Magical Meltdown. I got a set of Magical Meltdowns. Now that is really cool. I'm happy with those pulls. I got one more pack though. I really don't care what this is. I'm really happy with those cards that I just pulled and all that stuff. So I really don't care what comes out of this. Owl or Fusion, Wolf, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, and Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. This is for the Plants. Yeah. And okay, that's cool. So I got some good cards. So for your secrets for this set, we got this dude, we got Magical Meltdown, we got Invoke, Coyotes, I don't really know, Invoke Calgia, and another Meltdown, which is really cool. For supers, I am super stoked to get an instant fusion, and the Alistairs, I guess, I'm okay with him. Summoner Monk, I'm cool, and a King of Swamp, a super King of Swamps. I'm throwing that into my deck right now as we speak. But yeah, guys, that's the deck profile. Now with some pack openings. If you guys want to see more of these videos, make sure to comment below. Tell me guys what you guys think. Rate my video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content from me. Until next time, aloha. Good luck in your pulls. Hope they're better than mine. And good luck in your future duels. Aloha.